Hello, I'm Dom Fenison and welcome to my office. Now, if you're watching this, you're probably considering buying your first home, and that is a huge milestone, so congratulations on taking this first step. Now, home ownership is really the most surefire way to build wealth, both for yourself and for generational wealth in the future. So today, I'll be sharing the most important things you must know as a first-time home buyer in order to successfully buy your first home. So be sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel. I appreciate it a lot, and let's go ahead and get started. Okay, first things first, the pre-approval process. Now, before we start searching for homes, it's important to understand how much you can actually afford. So you want to consult with your bank or a mortgage lender to get pre-approved, and your realtor can always help you with that. This will not only help give you a clear understanding of your budget, but it also shows sellers that you're a serious buyer. I can't tell you how many prospective home buyers come to me sending me a brand new house on the market and saying, "We want this house, can we make an offer?" And the unfortunate truth is that any property that is of high value or is in high demand is probably going to be sold by the time you're actually prepared to buy that house. So this is why the minute you decide that you'd like to become a homeowner, you must start the process of getting pre-approved for a loan. And it's actually very easy, it's just important that you start early. So that way, when the perfect house does become available, you can make an offer within a day or even within a few hours if needed, and that way you'll beat out all the competition and get your dream home. This is also incredibly important because it's really vital to understand exactly how much you can actually afford. Because another big mistake that I see a lot of potential home buyers do is they'll look at homes that are well above their price range because they think they can make the payment or whatever, but then they find out how much they're actually pre-approved for, and then they're disappointed in the options that are actually within their price range. And even if those homes are amazing, they've already conditioned themselves to look at these more expensive homes before they even got pre-approved, which is just a recipe for disappointment, and that's why it's so important to get pre-approved first. Okay, second thing, set a realistic budget. Now remember, it's not just the house that you're paying for. There's property tax, insurance, maintenance, possibly homeowners association fees. And when you factor these in, you can always keep a buffer for unexpected costs and, things that you may not have expected when you began your home buying journey. So here in Los Angeles especially, you have to factor in property tax because it can easily get into the 5 figures yearly, which is no small amount. And both your realtor and your lender can help you know what the property taxes are in the specific location that you're looking in. Another thing to consider is homeowners association fees. Now, while some neighborhoods have no HOA at all, some can have lofty fees and they can get pretty significant. I've seen some HOA fees as low as $75 per month, but I've also seen some that are well over $1,000 in more expensive areas. So it's just important to know this before you commit to making an offer on a specific home, because that will increase the cost of living. Okay, on to our next topic, and that is choosing the right location. When it comes to location, it's really about what's most important to you. There's proximity to schools, work, public transportation, amenities. Maybe you just want a really quiet neighborhood. I recommend that all of my clients drive around the neighborhood and get a feel for the other houses, what businesses are around, and also think to themselves about how much they value their immediate surroundings. If you love taking walks often because you have a dog or you just like to get out of the house, then having things within walking distance will be really important for you. But if you're someone who only leaves the house when you're driving somewhere, like to work or to an outing or to hang out, then I would say the house itself is the most important thing, because what's in your immediate area might not matter as much if you're not someone that walks around a ton. So it's really based on your lifestyle. I also think knowing what your commute is going to be is extremely important. For some people who have flexible schedules, their location is not as important. But if you're driving to the same place 5 days a week during rush hour, then you may want to be in a location that is favorable to not waste too much of your time during a commute every day. Because just in my personal opinion, time and energy are precious, and reducing even 20 minutes from your daily drive can make a huge difference. But also, sometimes adding 20 minutes could be worth it if the house you're getting is significantly better than what your alternatives are closer to work. So it's really a give and take, and just what's important to you. Also, when it comes to schools or local businesses, safety, a realtor like myself would have access to resources that can let you know how walkable an area is, how good the schools are, and if the area is safe. Okay, next up, understanding the market. So it's incredibly important to know what the status of the current real estate market is in your city when you're looking to buy. Because just like any other commodity like stocks, gasoline, cars, those types of things, real estate is affected by a multitude of different variables at every time of the year. And this includes supply and demand, interest rates, the economy, inventory, and even local regulations. So what questions can you ask your real estate professional? I would start with, are we in a buyer's market or a seller's market? What are the current interest rates? How will that impact my payment on the house? And is there a high enough amount of inventory, or is there a low amount of inventory right now? Understanding these current market conditions will give you a better insight into the market and also help you negotiate better, because negotiation is a big part of the process, which I'll talk more about shortly. But you'll also want either your realtor or yourself to look at the comparable sold homes in the area just to ensure that what you're paying is in line with what is sold recently. Okay, next topic, and yes, I am a little biased, but I do recommend you hire a realtor when buying a home. So here's the thing about buying real estate and selling real estate. You don't know what you don't know. And going into something as important as a real estate transaction without a professional by your side can almost be like going scuba diving without an oxygen tank. I've been in this industry for years, and even I collaborate with other professionals at times to make sure that I understand every little nuance of the law, of the transactions, and of all the contracts that we deal with in real estate, because there are hundreds of them. So, and plus, when you're a buyer, you actually don't pay your real estate agent, the seller does. So while your agent will get paid for all the work that they do for you, you actually, as the buyer, do not have to pay your agent, which is a huge plus and really leaves no doubt as to whether or not you should work with a professional. And regardless of that, I just urge anyone looking to buy or sell a home to not risk something this important by not allowing an experienced real estate professional to assist you. We can provide things like valuable insights, access to listings, negotiation expertise, and much more that you will not have even thought of until it comes up. From my personal experience, I have saved my clients tens of thousands of dollars because I knew what to look out for in specific situations, and what was reasonable and unreasonable for a seller to demand, and what a buyer could ask for, and what requests are acceptable for a buyer to make that will make their lives easier that a seller wouldn't automatically offer to them in the transaction. So highly recommend that you use a realtor, and it'll save you a lot of time, energy, and money. Okay, next up, the home inspection. All right, everyone, never, and I mean never, skip the home inspection. When you purchase a home, you generally have a set amount of time to get an inspection on the property before you're actually committed to buying it. And there are around a dozen different types of inspections, including general inspection, termite, chimney, mold, pool, plumbing, foundation, and even more. So these inspections can uncover hidden issues with the home that could really cost you a lot of money in the future. So it's better to invest in a thorough inspection at the time of buying the property than to discover costly repairs that you'll need to make later on. So if we do find something that's an issue in the inspection, we can actually make a request for repair or get money back from the seller in the form of a credit in order to fix the issue. And sometimes in extreme cases where there's just something major that's wrong, you could just walk away from the purchase entirely. So inspections are something every buyer should do first once you're in escrow, and it can really save your life. Okay, on a related note, we'll move on to our next topic, which is understanding contingencies. So think of contingencies as conditions that must be met for the sale of the property to go through. Passing the home inspection, for example. So they also serve as opportunities for you to back out of the deal if something is really wrong with the property that wasn't disclosed to you when you first looked at the property, which does happen sometimes. So think of contingencies as something that are in place to protect you. So you want to make sure that you're comfortable with the contingencies that are in the contract or not in the contract, which is more so in the case of a buyer. There are times where sellers may ask you to waive certain contingencies based on the exact situation. However, your realtor can advise you on what is wise to do and what isn't wise to do. And there are some cases where waiving a contingency could be an advantage because it speeds up the purchase process. So maybe you're in a really hot market and there's there's an appraisal contingency that needs to be done, and you say, hey, we're gonna waive the appraisal contingency. I don't care what it costs because I have a little bit of cash and I'll make up the difference for what the bank won't finance. So that's something that you could do as a buyer to give yourself an advantage when it comes to waiving contingencies. And there's a lot of other different situations where that applies that your realtor could help you with and help you better understand. Okay, we made it to our last tip, and it's definitely an important one, but this topic is to think long term. So are you planning to stay in this home for a while? Are you thinking about future needs like starting a family or workspace requirements? Your home should fit not just your present, but also your future. And I see this with some clients a lot. While life is certainly unpredictable and there's no need to have everything figured out all at once, it is a generally good idea to have at least the next 5 years of your life in mind when buying a home, because there are, 25 to 35-year-olds that are about to get married, and a 1 to 2 bedroom might not accommodate their needs if they plan on starting a family. And you want to have this in mind when you're looking for a home. Also, are you married and have 2 kids that are about to go off to college? Well, then you may not want a 5 or 6 bedroom house, because once they're on their own and they're out of the house, you'll just be left with a bunch of empty space. So while there are no hard and fast rules, you definitely want to consider your needs are going to be and anticipate them accordingly, and not just what they are right at this moment. Okay, so to wrap this all up, buying a home is an exciting and significant accomplishment in life that can help set you up for a brighter future. And with the right knowledge, you can make the decision at the right time and at the best time that works for you. So remember, I'm here to help guide and support you every step of the way. If you have any questions or want personalized advice on your specific situation, don't hesitate to reach out to me. Also, please be sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel. I'm here to help you on your home buying journey, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.